Guys, Jackie M, how you doing? We are in one of our special Masters of Malaysian Cuisine sessions with our partner Facebook group. Masa apa tak jadi hari ini? Apa khabar semua? And today we have Chef Rene Juefri from Dubai, and he's going to be making an Arabic dessert. But before we get started, let me just play you a little clip from Tourism Malaysia, and we will be back. But in the meantime, say hello in the chat, all right? And let us know where you're watching from. And we will be back in a second. Hey, now, making a place to know. Hey, now, that was a place to go. Hey, now, you gotta see the belief. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Come on, gotta make a move to get there right now. Somewhere nice so we can get away. Better than the ordinary day. You're my paradise. Malaysia, truly Asia. Hey guys, we're back. Okay, and this is Jackie M again, and I am with Chef Rene Juefri over in Dubai, and he is making. Rene, can you tell us what you're making?
Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. So today I have a special dessert dish. All right, I'm going to share the recipe. It's called Ali. All right,
Ali.
Ali, UMM, or some will say OM, and Ali, ALI. So
okay.
It's an national Egyptian dessert, very, very known in the Middle East as well. All parts of Middle East technically knows Ali, even though it's an Egyptian national dessert.
Okay, cool. I'm very curious to find out more about this. And we have Chef Joe, who's just joining us. Let's have a look and say hello.
Just hold on.
Chef Joe? Okay, yeah, no worries. Take your time. And Chef Joe,
hello,
of course, is Rene's dad, and Chef Joe is also...
Yeah.
That's all right. No worries. Take your time. Chef Joe also is the judge of MasterChef Malaysia. Yeah. So we're very honored to have Chef Joe to be co-hosting Rene once he manages to set up his connection. Chef Joe is in Kuala Lumpur. But guys, make sure you say hello and let us know where you're watching from, and do a hashtag live if you're watching this live, hashtag replay if you're watching a replay. And also, it's just a special welcome to all our viewers from Masa apa tak jadi hari ini. Apa khabar semua? Hari ini kita ada Chef Rene di Dubai. Dia akan buat apa ni ya? Can you explain Ali in Malay for our audience?
Ya, apa khabar semua dekat Masa apa tak jadi hari ini. So, selamat malam, selamat petang daripada Dubai. So, hari ini Chef nak sediakan satu hidangan manisan, okay, daripada Timur Tengah, Middle East, dari negara Egypt. Asalnya dessert ni daripada negara Egypt, tapi mana-mana kalau ke Timur Tengah ni memang semua orang tahulah. So, inilah, siapkan pen dengan kertas, okay. Everyone get your pen and paper ready. So, kita start soon.
Yeah. And speaking of which, guys, if you want the recipes for all our sessions, our eMag 4 is coming up probably in the next few hours. Actually, it's practically ready. We're just giving it a final run through with the edits. But if you want to get your copy, you have to sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today. And if you're waiting for our MATJHN recipes, we have the wonderful Haslina over on in Masa apa tak jadi hari ini, one of our followers from that Facebook group. She is actually helping me to edit the MATJHN recipes. Okay, so all the sessions that we do that are special in collaboration with MATJHN, a lot of them will be released very, very soon. Okay, but just make sure you sign up over at malaysianchefs.com/join today. Hey, Juliet, good to see you. Okay, I'm going to Chef Joe. Are you ready to go? Chef Joe can't hear us yet. Okay, yeah, he can hear us. Okay, are you ready to take over from me?
Okay. Can you hear me clearly? Okay.
Yes.
Rene, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Alright. So yeah, Papa, you can.
Hi. Good. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Now we are on the MOMC together with MATJHN, collaboration together with MATJHN. With all those, I think they have more than 2 million members. So I have to say, selamat petang, apa khabar semua, and good evening, world. And today we have Chef Rene. Actually, he's my elder son. He's with us now. He's in Dubai. So you'll be cooking something Arabian specialty tonight. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so what are you trying to cook today?
So yeah, today I have a special sweet
I mean,
or
what are you cooking?
dessert.
What yeah.
Yeah, so we have a dessert that I'm going to prepare today, a specialty from Egypt, and also widely known or widely recognized throughout Middle East. Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
Omali. Yeah, so
Okay. So what
yeah.
are the
So,
umali? Yes, 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 yes. Is it
okay,
really
so
sweet or
yeah, so it's not as too sweet. Depends on how much sugar do you put. Okay, how much sweet do you want to go for? But it's actually between sweet
okay,
and
okay.
savory because some of the ingredients that I
Mm-hmm.
use has already salt in it by its recipe itself. So it's quite light, fluffy. So
Okay,
it's an Middle East version of
okay.
a bread butter pudding, but without butter and
Right.
without eggs. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Bread butter pudding.
yeah.
Okay, that sounds easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So yeah, for some viewers untuk
otherwise
penonton yang
everybody.
yeah, because for some maybe for the first time they look at this dish, all right, until the end you will recognize it as
Yeah.
almost similar to a bread butter pudding. So penonton-penonton di
Okay.
masak apa tak jadi hari ni, so siapa yang biasa dengan bread butter pudding kan, yang apa selalu masak dekat dapur ataupun suka dessert tu bread butter pudding, so ni is a kind of a bread butter pudding but daripada Timur Tengah, okay, daripada Middle East. Okay, so
Alright, alright.
let's share the
Okay, okay.
recipe probably, right? We see all the ingredients. So
Yes, please.
today I'm
Please
going
go
to
ahead. Yeah.
prepare two different
Yes, please go ahead.
flavors. I so we have two different flavors. One is saffron base with rose water. So it's very common in the Middle East that the
Okay.
sweets and
Okay.
people like rose water a lot in the Middle East. And then saffron or saffron. Okay, if some of you might not know what is saffron or saffron, it's a yellow. I mean, this reddish flower that you get the pods in it. All right, so I'll show you later on. Okay, that's how it looks like.
Okay, in Malay we call it kuma.
Kuma, yes. In Malay, it's called kuma in
Kuma.
Bahasa Melayu. Yeah. So, see?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, we're going to use
Normally you can
saffron
buy
because
this in Malaysia. You can buy in the Indian restaurant.
yeah. So, any Middle East grocery, you can find it. Okay. Even European, Mediterranean also use saffron a lot, especially the Mediterranean cooking.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's for the
But here in
flavor for the
Malaysia,
aroma.
you can.
So, for the flavor and aroma, that's why we use saffron. That's very Middle East. And then with the rose water, okay, that's the classic way. Later on, I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in for the second version. So I'm going to do two flavors. Okay, I'm going to show you on that as well. So ingredient wise, okay, you have the most two important in the recipe, which is milk and cream. Okay, so you have here puff pastry. I use a mix of croissant as well. Okay.
Okay.
And then you have sugar. Then you have raisin, pistachio, and almond slice. All right.
Okay.
So for the classic or original recipe, it's using puff pastry. But again, we said earlier about this butter bread pudding, right? So you can always use any bread that you have available at home. You know, you have your white bread, your brown bread, any stale bread that you have, you can always use it. Okay, what I have here is puff pastry. You know, sometimes you use puff pastry, you cut, you make at home, you do curry puff or you do any savory or sweet puff, apple pie. You get the trimmings of the puff pastry. So you can also use that. That is the most easiest and accessible, and also it's economical. So you kind of use up your trimmings. Okay, so it's very good on this recipe that you can use up trimmings. You can use up your stale bread, so you don't want to waste. Okay, so it's good. All the items are quite available in your kitchen anyway. So to start, the most important thing is to kind of bring up the flavor and the color of this umali. So let's start first on this so that we get the color from the umali from the saffron. So what I'm going to do, all right, I have the milk and cream. So I just heat up a little bit of milk and a little bit of cream. over here. So this Ali, okay, as I mentioned earlier, it comes from Egypt. So it's a national dish from Egypt, where first found in between 11 or 12th century in Egypt. Okay, so it's the empire of Ayyubi, all right, Ayyubid era. So that's between 11th, 12th century time. So during the time, what they did is that they asked, so the palace asked the cook, okay, to prepare something the most delicious that they can come up with for dessert. Something that they can say, okay, this is the most delicious dessert that they can come up with to share to the people, all right, in Egypt. So this is where the history comes from, and the meaning of Ali literally is is Umi, from Umi, is so
Okay.
mother. So Ali is Ali, the person's name in the king's name. So
Okay.
it's called Ali. So Ali's mother. Okay, Ali's mother's favorite
Okay.
dish, favorite dessert. So what I did, I've already cut some of the saffron earlier. All right, this is the first step that is very important so that you get all the flavors and also the aroma and the color, mainly the color as well. Okay, saffron is a little bit probably expensive in certain part of the world, especially in Malaysia probably because it's not the main ingredients available or easily accessible in Malaysia. So it's, you can find it a little bit more expensive. You can always substitute it. Okay, if you don't find it, okay, you can opt it. You don't have to put saffron if you wish. Okay, so only missing is the color of the yellow color. You can always change it or substitute with the yellow coloring, but if you're not a fan of coloring, so just remove it, it's fine. Okay, so next ingredient is rose water. Okay, so rose water I assume is easily available anywhere, right, part of around the world and also in Malaysia. So we just need a touch of it, okay, based on the recipe. I'm going to share the recipe later on, all right, after we finish off. So we're going to compile the recipe, you're going to get pictures, you're going to get the whole recipe in our website, right? If you log in www.malaysianchefs.com/join today. Okay, so here what I did now, I've already warmed up the cream and milk. So the saffron is there. I think you can start to see the saffron is start to bloom. All right, you can see the yellow color is starting to come out, and even the smell of the rose water earlier. Okay, so back to the dish itself. So now it has become a national dish. Okay, everyone knows, and throughout, as I said, throughout Middle East, everyone literally eat Ali and ask for Ali. Even now, I'm in Dubai, in Middle East, everyone love Ali. So that's why I want to share to everyone around the world, even back in Malaysia, masak apa tak jadi hari ni. So bolehlah ambil resepi chef ni nanti, buat kat rumah, senang je. Beberapa bahan masuk dalam mangkuk, panaskan, lepas tu bake, tu je. Okay, so we have Nora Harun. Hi Nora, we have Mama Pendi also. Okay, so now, see the color is starting to get yellow, all right? So what we want to do is to get the dry ingredient ready. So two ingredients that we need. One is wet ingredient, okay, and one dry ingredient. So for the wet ingredient, we're going to later on just boil up all the 500 ml of milk, 500 ml of cream together in the saffron mix that I'm doing now. So now it's just to get the color to bloom up the saffron so that it becomes yellow, because if I put everything in, if you try, you put a whole batch of liquid with the saffron, then it won't bloom as fast that it's supposed to. Okay, so it won't get that nice vibrant yellow. So what I'm going to do now, so just in a bowl, earlier we have this pistachio. All right, this is the pistachio that we put in. All right, a little bit of raisin. It's very common to find raisin around in Middle East, so that's why one of the ingredients is raisin, and we have almond, sliced almond. So it's already been toasted. So the nuts that I use, I toasted first. Okay, make sure you toast them first. A lot of almond, all right. Even almond is accessible in the Middle East, so that's why this is one of the best nuts that they use. Okay, best ingredient that they use. So now you can start to see. All right, some of you can start to see. Yeah.
Let's say if you don't have the pistachio, can you replace with other nuts, maybe like almond, walnuts, or
Yeah.
nutmeg.
Sure.
Oh, I mean, sorry, nutmeg. Yeah.
The other nuts, if you want to replace, if you don't have, for example, pistachio, I use here almond. You can
Almond,
also
okay.
substitute it with walnut. Okay,
Walnut, yeah.
whatever available, hazelnut.
Okay.
Macadamia is good. It's nice.
Yeah.
Macadamia, I like macadamia flavor. It's very nutty and very creamy, very fatty, right? So, but for this classic recipe, this is what I share. So that's why I didn't use other nuts. You can use cashew.
Yeah. Cashew nut,
I won't recommend as
a bit
much.
soft, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, because it will become softened because we're gonna put liquid in. We're gonna bake it, so it will start to kind of absorb all the liquid. Then it becomes soft. Yeah, you don't get a crunch to it, but you can always use it if you prefer it. You know, for some they prefer. Okay, so we have that. We put it on side. So now you can see it start to become yellow a bit more. Okay.
Okay, for those who just on board, so welcome to the MOMC together with MATJHN. Today we have Rene from Dubai cooking Ali. So yeah, I think there are so many people coming in. If you are from wherever you are, please hashtag where you watch, whether it's live or maybe it's a recorded one. So please acknowledge where you are watching from.
Yeah, we want to know where you watch from, so we know where you are, right? So I think we have Siti. Siti Naili is from US, pa. So she loves the history of it. Yeah, she's from Nebraska. Hi, Siti. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now with the dry ingredients, okay, I'm going to put it here. You can see it. So I've already cut in the croissant. Okay. Traditional recipe, it doesn't have croissant. It have basic, which is the puff pastry. But with this is the additional that I put in because I like the croissant because it's buttery. And even now, if you go all these restaurants that serve omali, they put croissant, they put Danish, they put whatever that's available from the breakfast, right?
Yeah,
so
because I think there is more flavorful because they have
you get
butter
more
inside.
Yeah. You get the butter into it and everything. So it's quite common now to find, as I mentioned earlier also. If you can't or you just want to do a quick omali, if you don't have puff pastry, you can always use your stale bread. You can use any bread, mix it. You can take the brown, the white. You have any sourdough also, you can cut it down and then you put it in. Okay, so we have the puff pastry now. So I'm just gonna lightly crush it. Okay, you don't want to crush them too much because you want to have a texture in it. Okay, you want to have a layer, a texture in your omali. Okay, just very quick. So puff pastry again, as I mentioned earlier, if you know you like to bake at home, right? So you have all the trimming from your apple pie, from any of your savory pie that you did, puff. The trimmings, what do you do? So you might wonder, right? So this is one of the
what we call it. This is what we call house clearing now.
Yeah. So you don't want to waste. You don't want to waste your ingredient. That's the main thing. So there you go. So you can see, right? Now it's turning yellow. Okay. So from bright white. So earlier, let's compare. Right? You can see. Okay. What we're going to do now is to finish off all the cream and milk inside. So we want to boil it up. All right, bring it up to boil. Okay. So who just tune in? Siapa yang baru just tengok masuk masak apa tak jadi hari ni? Okay. We are live with conjunction from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. Okay. Collaboration with Masak Apa Tak Jadi Hari Ni. Special featuring. Alright, for Masak Apa Tak Jadi Hari Ni. So today chef is preparing. I'm preparing a dessert. Alright, a sweet. Chef prepare hari ni manisan daripada Egypt, daripada Timur Tengah. From Middle East, it's called Ali. Okay, so for some, to make it a little bit easier to understand what is it going to happen, so it's almost like a bread butter pudding. Okay, so here I've already put up the milk, cream, saffron earlier, right? Then sugar. Okay, so that's 170 gram sugar. Okay, who have pen and paper, who already took the recipe, you can continue taking the recipe, or you can always review again or replay the video that you're watching right now. Main important thing is to log in to our MalaysianChef.com, join/today, you're going to get all the recipe. Not only from me, from all the chefs, even from Papa. Yeah, Papa?
Yeah. So this is now you put in the sugar.
Yeah.
So actually,
So
what is the
now,
proportion? What is the proportion the milk and the bread?
so the milk and the bread, okay. The bread is around 300 gram. All right, around 250 to, so it's 250 to 300. But again,
Okay.
depends on the type of bread or type of puff that
Okay.
we use. So obviously puff is like a little bit more lighter. Okay, so it's 200 gram puff and
Okay.
around 50 to 80 grams of the croissant.
All right.
Yeah. So the croissant I'm using a mini croissant. So each was around 25 to 30 grams.
All right.
Yeah. So the ratio of the liquid was actually 500 cream, 500 milk, right?
Okay.
And then sugar 170. So what I did earlier, maybe around 1 cup of milk and cream.
Okay.
I put up the saffron. Okay, I boil it up and get the yellow color out of it. When it's ready, vibrant yellow, then you finish off all the milk and cream into it and put the sugar. Now what we need to do is wait for it to boil and the sugar dilute completely. Okay, so you have the dry ingredient ready, waiting for it to be
Yeah.
soaked. Okay.
Okay.
So the last thing before it goes in the oven, so we need an oven actually for this to be baked. So don't forget to heat up your oven. Okay, I've already heat up my oven 180, 175 degrees. If you have an oven that has top and bottom heat, okay, increase the level of the top temperature. So still at 180 degrees, but you can always use the top
Okay.
element or top fire.
Do you,
So what I'm having
okay,
here
for
is a,
okay, for this cooking process, do you need to put any water bath?
no. So
No.
for this, we don't have to put any water bath. It's straight. Once you put on the mold, inside the mold, you just go straight into the oven.
In the
It's
oven,
not like
okay.
the cream, what do you call
Cream caramel.
creme caramel, or
Or
if you do
the
normal
cheesecake.
custard. Yeah, if
Yeah.
some custard base like brulee, even some bread butter pudding recipe, they will put water bath to keep it moist. Okay, so for this particular recipe, we don't put water bath because we don't use eggs mainly,
Okay.
so it won't curdle up of you won't have that curdle texture. The purpose of that water bath is actually to prevent the curdle of your eggs, and also doesn't the heat doesn't go too harsh, especially the dry heat,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the oven, it's the most important is the element on top, because you want that gratinate, you want that nice crispy and golden finish on the top. Okay, the bottom is just to bake the whole pomade. Okay, so next I have here, all right, 200 ml of cream, all right, whipping cream. So I'm using whipping cream. This we need to whip it up, okay, for the topping later on. So this will be my caramel element. So oops. Okay, that's what happened. So keep an eye when you boil. So almost masak apa tak jadi hari ni. Okay, so what happened? So the milk and cream, after it reach to a boiling point, it will start to bubble up straight away, very fast. So make sure that you switch off your fire.
No.
Right?
Yeah, now it's
Reduce
boiling now.
temperature.
Okay.
Yeah. That almost happened there, but I managed to catch it. So you have to be always alert in the kitchen. All right, we have Nora Harun asking, what is the Fahrenheit in US, in America? Okay, Fahrenheit, last time you mentioned 350 Fahrenheit for baking, so it's around that one, so 365, the lowest 355 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
You can go a little bit higher, 370 Fahrenheit, should be fine. For us, for Celsius, it's 180, 185 is good. So you want to get that nice caramel on top. It's like baking normally. So we just whisk it up. Okay. While we whisk that, you need to come to a medium peak. Okay. So we have this ready. Wow. Okay. So dry ingredient. What we do next is to soak them up. All right.
Are you soaking with the cream or with the milk?
So this is the mix of the cream and milk earlier that I boiled.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the one that I boil now is a mix of 50-50 portion of milk.
Okay. You add up the
Yeah.
hot liquid to the bread. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's leave it there for a while. So let it soak. Okay, if you see again, sorry. Okay, let it soak. So you see the puff that I didn't crush. There's a few bits, crush, uncrush. So you get that texture later on when you eat your umali. So that is very nice. You will have a little bit of that mochi in between. Then you have that chunks in between. So that will give that nice experience enjoying umali. Okay, so you can see I put poisson earlier. So that is also nice, a little bit salty there. Okay, buttery. Oh, that's what you need, you know. Dessert, butter,
I think
butter.
I think we put those like maybe flat bread, like Lebanese bread would not be that good, is it?
Yeah, okay, Lebanese bread. The normal bread that you use for hummus, right? The savory bread that you have with your
Yeah, because
tabbouleh.
because it's too flat, too dry. Yeah.
Yes, correct. That is a little bit too flat and dry. Okay. You can always try it. Okay, I've never tried it though, but by
Yeah.
understanding the dish itself, it won't give that effect of what do you call that? That spongy one.
Yeah.
Secondly, when you bake it, it's gonna have that slightly, because when it soaks up liquid, it gets too mushy and stringy. So it's not really the right
Yeah.
dough. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna whisk that, all right, until you get a medium peak to it, while waiting for it to be soaked. So you can soak them prior, all right. 10 minutes, 15 minutes is always good. So you still get that texture. You can also do it, then you can bake it the next day. Okay. The difference is that the longer you soak it, the more firmer your umali will be. It's gonna get more thicker. You're gonna get more bready, more more like a hearty texture.
Yeah.
So the
Even
best.
even in some the bread butter pudding also some recipe they
Mhm.
ask you to soak overnight.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, before you bake the next in the next morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you bake it, what happens is that if you soak it overnight, you're gonna get all the flavors infused inside, right? You're gonna get all the
Yeah.
colors also, but you get more vibrant into it. Then it's way
Yeah.
more harmonized because you have all these nuts, nice nuts. You have the raisin. So what the raisin will
Yeah.
do is that it will kind of bloom nicely, all right, and
Yeah.
evenly. So you get nice when you bite into it, the raisin actually kind of pops in it. So that's why they
Okay.
always advise you can do it overnight, but you can also do a la minute like what I'm doing now.
Mhm.
So it will take around 10 minutes, will be very nice already. Okay. If you are really, really in a rush, okay, you can break the puff smaller. All right. You can also cut the bread smaller. So what that will do is that it will start to soak up more faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna whisk. Okay. You can always use a machine for this. All right. So is there any question around from any viewer? So okay, let's see if it gets more thick. I have a cream already ready actually here. Okay, so let's see. I want to make everyone see that what kind of texture we can get from this. So one tips that I would like to share about when you're whisking or whipping up the cream, all right, to get a whipping cream, it's good to use a cold cream, straight from the fridge, straight in the bowl. Go ahead. Some would also put that ice at the bottom.
Underneath, yeah.
Okay. Untuk penonton, alright, yang selalu nak cuba whisk krim kan, okay, selalu pukul-pukul lama-lama. So chef ada satu tip, krim daripada peti ais masuk sejuk-sejuk, mangkuk kalau boleh daripada peti sejuk masuk, pukul. Alright.
Terus
Okay.
pukul.
Yeah. It's a medium peak that you want. See, this is called medium to hard peak.
Okay.
So it doesn't drop. Okay. If it's still dropping out of from your whisk, meaning it's still on a soft peak. Okay, peak meaning this, the peak that is still standing. Cool. So I managed to whisk it for you.
Okay.
All right. So I don't use the one that's already pre-whisked. Now,
Alright.
let's see.
Okay.
Okay. See, it
Okay.
starts to get more creamier, thicker.
Okay, yeah.
So if you notice, I don't use any eggs for this. Okay, this recipe doesn't come with any eggs. So it's not like a custard mixture. It is a custard base kind of with milk and cream. Though
Yeah, because there's no
it's
egg,
using
yeah.
up, it's getting the custard texture is actually from the puff itself, and also from the bread that you use. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, you see that? Nice. Okay, so the oven is ready. Let me check. Okay, because I'm using a gas oven, so you have to always constantly check if the light is still there or no, the gas. Okay, let's get to the plating up. Okay, so we need to bake them. So here I have 2 bowls. All right, you can use any kind of ramekins or any casserole. Okay, so the one I'm using here is very traditional, kind of in the Middle East you can find terracotta, right? You can always use the white one as well that you have, normal ramekins. Preferably, preferably get it slightly not too shallow, not too deep. Okay, the one I have here probably around, let's say, 1.5 inch, maybe 2 inch, I would say, probably more, around 5 cm. Okay, so you don't want it too deep because you don't want to have like a too soft.
Too thick, yeah.
Yeah, too soft or too thick, the texture of your umami. So what you're going to do is that not too shallow as well, not too flat, otherwise it will burn. Okay, so thickness is quite important. However, if you like it deeper compared to this, you can. Some people like more of this the creamy or bready liquid
mushy,
texture. Yeah, like a mushy texture. Go ahead by all means, because me, I prefer nice balance.
Okay, for this one, let's say those viewer, they don't have this kind of utensil. Can we use those metal or the silicone mold?
Yeah, you can. But the problem is with the silicone mold, you can't actually remove it because this have to be served like a dish by itself like this. Unless you have a nice silicone mold that you can serve it direct. So that will be an option. Or even the stainless steel one. So you have a nice one. You can always do it in there. Okay. And then you can serve it direct. So the main thing is that you have to serve it as a dish like this and you scoop it up.
Okay,
because it's quite runny, it's quite creamy. So you can't really remove the whole dessert and put it on a plate. Okay. Hasina, you had you had it in Dubai much ago. Yeah. So as I say, anywhere in the Middle East, you can find it. All right. Most of the Middle East restaurant, even though it's a Egyptian national dish. So this is the classic one. What I'm going to show you now, okay, is that this is markisa. Okay, yang dekat Malaysia tahu kan markisa. So the viewers, this is a Malaysian passion fruit. Okay, I got it from the fruits festival, all right, that we did here in Dubai a couple weeks ago, and also yesterday they did one show yesterday and day before in Lulu hypermarket here in Dubai. So I managed to get the markisa, our Malaysian passion fruit, okay, from our Ministry of Agriculture, all right, from MAFI, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industries. So see, now I make my own version, all right, Malaysian with the Malaysian fruit. Okay. So markisa.
Can we top up? Can we top up with durian?
Durian. Yeah. Durian would be interesting. I didn't have durian. So if you want to make it more Malaysian flavor, okay, you want to really get that nice, you can try. Maybe you try one eclectic one with durian. It would be nice. You get it because durian is creamy, nice flavor, right? So you got the passion fruit just now, markisa. Okay. So markisa, I mean, this is a Malaysian passion fruit. It's not as actually sour as the normal passion fruit. It's it has more sweeter tone to it, very fragrant. Okay. it's very nice. We had a lot of people trying out who always try passion fruit. They say, oh, it's sour, sour, sour. But our Malaysian makisa is sweet. Okay. Alrighty. So now the whipped cream. So you have both ready. Get the whipping cream on. All right, spread them out. Okay. You want to get only that layer of whipping cream on it. Okay. Again, if you want to pre-do them, you can always put them in the ramekin. All right, in the mold. Keep it in your fridge without the whipping cream. Okay. Then the next day, when you want to bake it, just whip your cream and you top it up. So you can do that as well. You know, you have people coming in, you want to cook for your guests, your family, so you have other dishes to prepare, right? So this dessert, easy, just chuck it in the chiller, in the fridge. All right, tomorrow just finish it out with the cream. Okay, almost there. Nice. So now here I have the garnish. Okay, pistachio powder. All right, pistachio powder on it. Okay, then you have some more raisin. Okay, this is just for the garnish to get the texture on top, the color, how it looks like. Okay, almond again. Okay, a little bit only, just to get that, again, as I say, when you bake it, it become caramelized, you get the texture nice. Here I have sliced some apricots, dry apricots. So it's quite easy to get dry apricots here in the Middle East, and one of favorite dry fruits in the Middle East. Okay, so maybe the one with the passion fruit, I don't put apricot, so we know which one. Okay. So what we do now, in the oven it goes. Okay. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, make sure the fire on top, that's the main heat that you want from it. Okay. Then we'll let it bake for around 5 to 7 minutes, hopefully. All right, with the temperature that I have now. So what you want to have is that the nice caramel on top. So the cream, what it does is that it will bubble up, and then with the temperature, it will caramelize the top, it will melt, caramelize the top, give it a nice golden color. If you notice, I didn't put sugar, okay, because the dish itself has sugar. The whipped cream doesn't need sugar. That's not the main ingredient that will caramelize it. It's the actual fat inside the cream that will caramelize it. Okay, so I can start to smell it now. So is there any other question from the other viewers?
So it didn't work like the creme brulee where you put the sugar last.
Yeah, so it's not like the creme brulee that you put the sugar last and you caramelize it, right? So this one is the cream that we already put on top that will actually do that caramelization effect.
So this one, normally the Umi Ali, do they serve, of course you can serve it hot, but can you chill and serve it the next day?
So you can, so if you want to chill it to serve it on the next day, you can keep it chill without baking it with the cream. So once you put in the ramekin, the mix earlier, so you have the mix. So what you can do, you put in the ramekin, then you keep it in the fridge. The next day, you put the cream, you bake it. You can
you mean these Umi Ali people never take in the chill part, like you having
cold. So some parts or some of them they prefer it as cold. So Ali can have it cold or warm if that is the question. So me personally, preferably I like it warm. For some also like it cold. Okay, some of you like your custard cool, right? It's nice chill, because especially in the summer over here, so some would like it cold. Me preferably warm or hot, because I like that, because the heat kind of moist it up again, kind of bring out the liquid again, so make it more you know, when you eat it, you get the nice liquid texture to it. Yeah, but again, you can have it cold if you wish, like your normal you're gonna have it like a chunk if you have it cold. So you can have it with ice cream if you want, if the warm one. We do it over here also with saffron ice cream or the lotus ice cream, Biscoff. All right, it has a nice spice to it.
Mhm.
Okay, almost.
So,
Let me do the
yeah.
temperature. Okay. So any other
So,
question from others? So instead
for
of
those
whipping
who
cream,
just catch up, so just hi again. Welcome to the MOMC together with the MATJHN. Rene is from Dubai. I'm here from Kuala Lumpur. So this is a collaboration together with Tourism Malaysia to bring this all over the world that you can watch us today. So please tell where you're from, or are you watching it live the next time, or maybe you can hashtag you are on recording, watching on recording one. Yeah, so at least
yeah.
we can see and we can survey how many are watching with us all over the world. Yeah, and I think the previous one we have about 20,000 people watching. So we are keeping more viewers to be with us. So hopefully you can always share with your friends, or you can even make like a, it's a evening party together and watch on a big screen. And then if you like to be cook along, okay, you cannot cook along because we don't give you the recipe early, but at least you can have something else together to enjoy when watching our uh, cooking demo. Yeah.
So every bits of knowledge, if you share around, you talk to your friends, try the recipe,
Yeah.
then it's gonna kind of expand organically. So it's good. And I think
Yeah.
Haslina has one question. Okay, instead of whipping cream, can we substitute with meringue and blowtorch it? Okay, good question. A good substitute. So you can do that. The only thing is that the meringue will give too much sweetness to your umali instead. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can do
Then
that.
probably you
As I
have to reduce
mentioned,
the sugar. Probably
yeah.
you
So
have
you
to
have to
reduce
reduce the
the earlier
sugar
sugar. Yeah.
in in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
umali. But if you serve the umali with meringue on top to a Egyptian or Middle Eastern, they will turn around and look at you, and they won't say this is the right topping. Okay, but you can do it. Your
Okay.
version is true. You can always opt it with the meringue if you like meringue. But this dish doesn't have any eggs. So if you put meringue, then it will add eggs to the dish itself. I mean, apart from the puff pastry, but raw eggs,
Yeah.
then that's right, raw eggs. I think Shirley have a question. Can I use condensed milk and regular milk instead? Sure. So original recipe, classically, it's only milk. There's no cream. Okay, I put cream because I like the creamy flavor, and people here they love it. Very rich flavor. Okay, that's why I use cream.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can opt with condensed milk, but make sure you don't use too much of the condensed milk. Don't do it 50-50. Do it maybe 20 condensed milk, then the others are on the fresh milk, because
Yeah.
one is the sweetness. All right. The second thing is that condensed milk, it will kind of create a layer, a skin that also
Yeah.
affects the omali from when you boiled it. Okay, and also it kinds of you have that flavor. For condensed milk, some they know straight away. If me also, I know we use condensed milk, you have that flavor that's very distinct. Okay, but you can always do that. No worries.
Mm.
All right. So it's looking very there.
I think
Almost
I
good.
think it, I think it's almost time. Maybe you have to check it out your oven.
Yeah. That's why I open it up now. Almost. See.
Yeah.
All right. So the one inside was my oven. So see, can see the golden color. Maybe this one I'll put a little bit more just in case. So this one. All right. So see, that's your umali. Okay, this is the one with the rose water and saffron, because I put the apricot earlier. Now I can smell
Okay.
the passion fruit, the makisa. As you can smell. Actually, say that's why I say this our Malaysian makisa is very aromatic. Not only on flavor wise, not only it's sweet, it's also aroma, very strong in aroma. So I also recommend our makisa, this Malaysian makisa. So you can also put it with your lotion actually, pa. You put with your
Yeah.
night cream, you put it and you keep it with
Yeah.
you. It's very nice. It smells like a perfume. All right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there you are.
Voila.
Maybe you can you scoop it? We want to see the
Yeah.
texture of the
So let's see. All right.
Umi
How is
Ali.
it
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
inside?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The classic one. Let's see. So you're gonna get always this liquid texture. Okay. Yeah, but you get a custard-like texture. Okay, let me get the bowl. All right. So there you go. So as I mentioned earlier, the recipe will recommend you to do it half an hour or overnight soaking. Okay, it'll be very good for the texture itself. It become more firmer. All right, more custardy. But this is already good. Some of us in the Middle East, we like it like this, like a milk buttery and milk bread, kind of milk soak up bread. Yeah. They also have a dessert here. They call it a milk cake, like tres leche. So they like this milk creamy flavor.
So we can make with some fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Brunoise of like something can buy maybe like apple, pear.
Yeah.
Or maybe apricot. Yeah, fresh one. Yeah.
So you can use the fresh fruits. Let it cool down a little bit. Okay. Even this, I just pull it out from the oven. So once it starts to cool out a little bit, warm still, it will start to firm itself, and you can put the fresh fruits. So the fresh fruit will be very nice. Also, it's refreshing. Okay. And also it adds up all this nice natural flavor to it. You have the cream, you have the milk, all the puff earlier, right? A little bit savory to it, and the fresh fruit like apricots, all these berries. Berries will be very, very nice with this.
Right.
And figs, fresh figs is good.
This one we do not use any cinnamon, yeah.
Yeah. So for this, we don't use cinnamon. Okay. For this particular recipe, we don't use cinnamon for it. You can use it. But again, you have certain element like pistachio. Normally, they don't in Middle East. We don't really put what do you call cinnamon, nutmeg probably a little bit. Yeah.
But sometimes in Middle East they use a lot of those cardamom for when they boil the milk and then.
Yeah, correct. Cardamom is very common here. Yeah, green cardamom. You can also soak them up when you boil the milk and you strain it. Then you get the cardamom flavor.
Give a good flavor, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a chai, like a Arabic tea or Arabic coffee that has that cinnamon, cardamom.
Yeah.
But this is how traditionally is done, and I took a twist on myself. I put a markisa or the Malaysian passion fruit. All right.
So you have been in Dubai for almost 10 years. So this Baba Ali, have you found something different from the Baba Ali from the ordinary one?
Yeah. So
have you seen
for this the Omali with I've already tried it doing the chocolate version. I've used trimming of when we do cakes. You know, your sponge. You can also use them. You just slightly bake them to dry a little bit on the trimmings that if you have. You can use them. Even we've also tried with
so maybe
coffee.
Your leftover your leftover Christmas cake, or maybe the what do you call it? The other one, the Christmas stollen. I think that would be nice, right?
Yeah, there will be something different, especially in the Europe, right? So it could be something nice. For some, as I mentioned earlier, for you, maybe if you look at it now, so it's almost like a bread butter pudding, a creamy bread butter pudding, right? So you can, again, festive is nearby. So if you have extra stolen, you have extra Christmas cakes, you can always do the same. Soak it up and then bake it.
Yeah. Doing quite interesting. I hope those who are watching, you can try it out. And then if you make some pictures or whatever, maybe you can share in our Instagram, any MOMC Instagram, share what we have done. So at least we know that you learned something from us today.
Yeah. So for all the viewers, all right, it's very nice. Okay, for the viewers, if you want to get this a whole of this recipe, so make sure you log yourself in, join today at MalaysianChef.com. All right, not only this recipe that I have today, all the chefs on Malaysian Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, who's doing all their live cooking masak apa terjadi hari ni. You get all the recipes, addition to it, and also all of our MOMC recipes that we did from up to series 5 right now. Yeah.
Okay, now for those viewers, there's some information for you. And for this MATJHN today, we have on Friday. And this coming Monday, we will have another 2 chefs from MOMC. There's one in the early part and the other one in the later part. So please check it out our website, our Facebook, and then you can follow us again on Monday. So actually, this is endless cooking, that you can do with us. Yeah. So as I said, as I always say, this event is actually it's a world event because all over the world is watching us. It doesn't matter. Some area are already night now, some are early in the morning, some is in the afternoon. Like in Malaysia now, we are already in the evening, about almost 10 o'clock in the evening. I think maybe Jackie is almost midnight there. He can have this Baba Ali as a supper, or maybe she keep a little bit for a few hours. She can have for breakfast.
Yeah, maybe for breakfast the next day.
Like a midnight snack.
Midnight snack.
Stale croissant. I was watching you do that. I was thinking, I've got some stale croissant. Now I know what to do with it. I don't have any milk. That's the only thing. It's a great idea. Yeah, guys, listen. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We actually, for those of you who've been waiting, Papa Joe, you still owe me a MATJHN recipe, I think.
Okay. I still three now, I think. Next one will be 4,
Yeah, but we want to thank, I want to give a shout out to Haslina, who's actually helping me now with the MATJHN recipes because we've got so much work piled up. And of course, Norman Musa has been focusing on the eMag 4, like all the design and layout. And he literally just sent me the latest version. So guys, hopefully, if I don't find any more typos in there, we can release it and you can stay up a couple more hours and download eMag 4 just by going to MalaysianChefs.com. If you've got a login, just click on the member login there. If you don't, just go to MalaysianChefs.com/join today. You'll automatically get a password and username, and you'll be able to log in and download all our eMags. And also you get a special compilation of recipes from all our chefs as well, on top of the eMags, which have all the recipes. And this particular issue, don't forget, has a special exclusive interview with Ryan Chilia from Junior MasterChef Australia. So he's really good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for another fabulous recipe, Rene. Thank you guys to everyone who said hello. We really appreciate you. And I think because we're using mobile phones today, we think Chef Joe and Rene might have struggled to see some of the comments, but we know you watched, and we acknowledge that you guys from everywhere, as far away as Germany and the USA and everywhere else. Thanks again. So we'll see you next on Monday with our MOMC Monday, our 2 sessions coming up. And also, don't forget also MOMC Monday next week. We've actually got, you guys might have seen Liam Garnish, who is a who stood in for one of our MATJHN sessions last week, and he's going to stand in again this coming Monday as a basically to replace
a guest chef.
His guest chef. So Liam is part of our new iteration of MOMC, which is called MOMC at Heart. Okay, so 4 MOMC chefs. And Chef Joe is really creative and really smart. And he was the one who came up with the branding MOMC at Heart. So thank you again, Chef Joe, with all his genius ideas. I love getting feedback. But we are going to announce the rollout of MOMC at Heart. So stay tuned if you love cooking or you know someone who is a new talent in the cooking space, who wants to come in and do some live with us. Okay. And again, thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful night. And with Tourism Malaysia. Thanks, Chef Joe. Thanks, Rene.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, jumpa lagi.
Ha ha ha!